Hey everyone, it's Q&A Tuesday with Joe, number 23. So today I want to talk about one of the great questions that I got, and it's a pretty common question that comes up in January. And Lisa Wilson has asked me, you mentioned that January is always slow, but I'm wondering what is the normal drop-off percentage? I'm down about 50% from November and December, which is so slow. It's positively glacial. Is that much of a slump typical? Yes, it is. Now, again, it's typical. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to have it. It really depends on your store items. But, I would like to say that the typical expectation of January is that it's going to be way slower than December. Think about it this way, right? From a buyer's perspective. And you are also someone that buys stuff online too, and myself included, right? And so we spend a lot of money in November and especially December to buy gifts, to get ready for Christmas or holidays or whatever you celebrate, to buy things for the loved ones, to make sure that we have sufficient things for Christmas. And so we do tend to spend quite a lot, especially for Black Friday in US and also Canada too. As Canadians, we take advantage of Black Friday. So we do shop as well. And of course, international buyers as well. So think about that November and December, it's being said that you make up for pretty much the rest of the year with the sales that you make in November and December. So it is to be expected that January is going to just drop. I compare January myself with July. And so for me, July in January, both months are very slow. So for me, January is it's a big drop. I don't know about 50%, but certainly 30%, 40% at some points during the month. And yeah, so this is my the first one because I did start in 2016. And so it's very hard to gear as to how I did because starting in January I only have 400 items at the end of the first month. So it's very hard to say that it was slow. I didn't have anything in comparison. So let's say this is the second January that I'm experiencing. Absolutely, it's slow. Like I said, it has dropped about 30% for myself. And I do expect to make much less profit than I made in November, December, but nothing, it's nothing, let's say, alarming. So it's kind of like your typical month in e-commerce, right? So let's give some numbers to kind of gear yourself. So let's say, I'm just going to give rounded up numbers just for the math to make it easy. So let's say in the month of December, you made about, let's say $5,000 in profit, okay, or 10,000. Okay, let's start with 5. In January, if I made 5,000 in December, I would be expecting to make maybe 3,000 in profit, maybe 2,500. So yeah, about 50%, 40 to 50%. Now, it does require you to do a little bit of a hustle to try to maybe maximize your profit margins on the back end. So maybe look into different ways of doing that, and also myself included, I think about cleaning up my store. And so now because the sales are slow, I have time to do the management, the logistics part of the actual store, right? So right now my team and I, we're working in cleaning up the store. We are working on just checking to see, discontinued items, maybe end the items that they're seasonal. We may not feel they may sell. Although to be honest, I still have Christmas trees up for sale and I sell anything and everything. So if the item is still in stock, I'd probably still leave it. But if you're pressed for, let's say, limits, if your store has a low limit, I would probably consider ending these seasonal items. So cleaning up the store, making sure that all my cases are closed, so all the customer service cases are closed, both on eBay and PayPal side of things. Making sure that, for example, if you changed your handling time from 4 business days to 3 business days, so this would be a good idea to roll back to 3 business days. And what I'm talking about this, well, so in December myself, I increased the handling time to 5 business days to be able to handle all the sales and to handle in case there's any shipment delays. First, I don't want it to affect my DSR score. And second of all, I don't want to set any false expectations for my buyers so they know when to expect the package. So this would be a good idea in January to roll back to 3 business days. providing your source will ship out within 3 business days. So for me, January is, I call it a cleanup month. So I clean up everything in the store. I make sure everything is up to date. If there's any feedback, for example, that I needed to have it addressed with eBay, I definitely take care of all of these as well. So yeah, 40% is definitely a realistic, 50% absolutely. I would think about also at the end of January to start listing things that you may think they will sell for Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is coming up in January, and for myself, I look for items for gifts that they may be given in Valentine's Day because it does pick up. From personal experience, if I have listed these items, my sales do increase in February due to these kinds of gifts. So this would be another thing to think about. So don't despair that your sales are low. You just have to take a deep breath and cruise through January the best you can. And this month of January also is a month of spending time on personal development. And what I mean by that is, you know, for example, myself, eBay is what's giving me the main source of income. And while it is a little bit scary for myself, you know, how do I handle the bills and everything like that, it really grounds me to spend time to give gratitude. And honestly, just wake up in the morning and just look for positive things in your life that you can be grateful for. For myself, you know, I'm grateful that I could make money online, you know, maybe not as much as December and November, but I still make money. So I'm very grateful that I'm still able to have a location independent business and that it still gives me enough income to take care of myself and my son. And of course, I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that my son is healthy. I'm grateful to live where I do. I love Playa del Carmen. It's such a blessing to live here. You know, I'm grateful for my friends and their health. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for all the relationships that I have in my life, both business and personal. And I'm grateful for movement, for sun. I'm grateful for great food. And I know these kinds of things sound so silly and cheesy, but it's good to ground yourself with what really matters in life. Also in January, I've actually encouraged my team to take a vacation, a paid vacation. So I sent them off for a week to just disconnect from the store, from the work, to reconnect with themselves, to recharge and get ready for the year. So for me, January is kind of like a slow month for all of us. And I wanted my team and I to take an opportunity to just connect with what's important, ground, to be able to get creative and start fresh in February, right? So it's not so much about ignoring your business, but really grounding yourself and becoming strong. So Lisa, I know I've kind of been rambling on and on, but I hope I was able to answer your question. And as always, happy selling.